Hi and welcome to our second part of the power tools. This particular drill is a corded drill. You can see the difference between this one and the last one. The power source comes from plugging the drill in. And of course there's one simple problem with this, is that you have a cord with a particular length. So when you're using this drill you need to take the cord into consideration, where you're plugging it in and the route for the cord, to make sure it's not a trip hazard and that you have enough distance between the two to use the drill safely. I'm just moving the plug out the way now. When we look at the drill, there's one main difference between this drill and the cordless drill, and that is the extra handle. This extra handle helps give purchase when you're drilling into different materials. This particular corded drill can be used into concrete, and it can take a slightly bigger drill piece as well. So this extra handle gives you a bit more purchase and a bit more stability when using this drill. I'm going to take it off right now. It comes off quite simply by undoing the handle and sliding it off. From here on in, it's a very similar drill to the cordless drill. The first thing we're going to look at is the trigger, the on-off trigger. Again, pulling it in a certain amount will turn the chuck at a certain speed. The more we pull it in, the faster it goes. Let's look at the chuck again. The chuck is almost identical. It's a keyless chuck. As you turn the head, you can see the chuck opening and closing. And again, it works the exact same way before. You slide the drill piece in, lock it off, and then you can release it again. The next thing we're going to look at is, there's a slight variance here, in that before we had a switch that went back and forth to swap the direction of the chuck. This one is a toggle switch, and it's the exact same. Altering the orientation of that switch alters the direction of the chuck. There's one last feature in this drill that's different from a cordless drill, and that is you can lock it on. So when I pull the trigger, in the cordless drill, when you release it, it comes out. In this drill, I'm able to lock it in place by pressing down the button. So that's it locked on. To release it, I just pull gently and you can see it popping out. So that's some of the key features of a corded drill. One of the things you need to consider when using power tools is health and safety. When you're using a drill, one of the first things you need to think about is eye protection. You need to be able to safeguard your eyes from any flying debris, and that could be debris that's thrown out of the tip from the surface being drilled. And there's lots of different types that you have. You have simple protective glasses, which you can slide normal glasses under quite comfortably. You might have a particular requirement for another set of glasses. This pair here comes with a set of lights included, which will help you if it's a bit of a dull area you're working in. These are just simple goggles. These are probably the ones you'll find most commonly in our workshops, and there's some small breather holes to allow. These ones are particularly good because they stop debris coming in at angles. And lastly, I have another pair which are slightly more robust again. That again, they're goggles. They're protecting your eyes from any flying debris. The second thing you might want to consider is ear protection. If you're drilling or using something particularly noisy in the workshop, you may need to wear a pair of ear defenders. And again, these would be available within the workshop if you need them. But these are just two health and safety considerations that you need to consider when using a drill. The last thing, which is sometimes overlooked, is making sure the workpiece is secure. You must also make sure that your workpiece is fixed down to a bench or a solid surface and not held in your hand while you're drilling.